December may look quiet in the garden, cold soil, bare branches, shorter days, but beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. This is the month when smart gardeners are already thinking ahead. While most people wait for spring, December planters are quietly setting the stage for stronger roots, earlier blooms, and healthier plants next year. Cold soil doesn't mean dead soil. In fact, many perennials prefer being planted now. Cooler temperatures reduce stress, natural moisture helps roots settle in, and plants focus their energy underground, exactly where long-term success begins. In this video, you'll discover perennials you should plant in December to get a serious head start on the next growing season. These are tough, reliable plants that benefit from winter planting and reward you with stronger growth, earlier flowers, and less work in spring. Write this down, save it, and let's begin. Because the garden you enjoy next year starts right now. 1. Hellebores, Lenten Rose. Hellebores are truly magical plants, especially in winter. While most of the garden sleeps, hellebores quietly bloom through cold weather, snow, and frost. This rare ability makes them one of the most valuable perennials you can plant in December. Unlike many plants that struggle in winter, hellebores actually prefer being planted while dormant. Cool temperatures reduce stress and allow their roots to settle deeply before spring growth begins. December planting mirrors their natural cycle and helps them establish faster and stronger. Hellebores thrive in partial to full shade, making them perfect for areas where other plants fail. They grow beautifully beneath trees, along shaded pathways, near foundations, or in woodland-style gardens. Their leathery, evergreen leaves provide structure and interest year-round, even when flowers are not in bloom. Their blooms are long-lasting and appear when the garden needs color the most, from late winter into early spring. Shades range from creamy white and soft green to deep plum and dusty rose. Even after flowering, the blooms fade gracefully and continue to add beauty for weeks. Soil preparation is key for hellebores. They prefer rich, well-draining soil with plenty of organic matter. While they like consistent moisture, they do not tolerate waterlogged conditions. A layer of mulch helps regulate soil temperature and retain moisture during winter. One of the greatest benefits of planting hellebores in December is root establishment. With no pressure to produce top growth, the plant focuses entirely on anchoring itself. By spring, hellebores planted in winter often outperform those planted later, producing more flowers and healthier foliage. Hellebores are also remarkably low maintenance. Once established, they are drought-tolerant, deer-resistant, and long-lived. Many plants thrive for decades with minimal care, slowly expanding into impressive clumps. If you want a garden that feels alive even in the coldest months, hellebores are essential. Planting them in December ensures they settle in peacefully and reward you with beauty when almost nothing else dares to bloom. 2. Peonies. If your dream garden includes large, luxurious blooms that stop people in their tracks, peonies deserve a place at the very top of your list. These classic perennials are famous for their enormous, fragrant flowers and incredible longevity, and December is one of the absolute best times to plant them. Peonies are unique because they actually require a period of cold in order to establish properly and bloom well. When planted in winter, the plant remains dormant above ground, but below the surface, something important is happening. Instead of wasting energy on leaves or flowers, peonies devote all their strength to building a deep, stable root system. This quiet underground work is what leads to thicker stems, stronger growth, and dramatically larger blooms in late spring. Another advantage of December planting is reduced stress. The soil is cool and naturally moist, meaning less watering and almost no transplant shock. By the time spring arrives, your peonies are already settled, anchored, and ready to grow, while spring-planted peonies are still struggling to adapt. Peonies prefer well-draining soil and plenty of sunlight. Full sun is ideal, though they can tolerate light afternoon shade in hotter climates. Good drainage is critical. Soggy soil can cause root rot, especially during winter. If your soil is heavy, amending it with compost or planting on a slight mound can make a big difference. One of the most important details with peonies is planting depth. The eyes, small reddish buds on the root, should sit no more than 1 to 2 inches below the soil surface. Planting too deeply is one of the most common reasons peonies fail to bloom. Shallow planting allows the cold to reach the roots properly, which triggers flowering later. Once established, peonies are incredibly long-lived. Many plants thrive for 50 years or more, often blooming more beautifully with each passing season. They dislike being moved, so choosing the right location from the start is essential. Winter planting gives them the stable, undisturbed beginning they need to settle in for the long term. With minimal care, peonies reward patience with breathtaking flowers, sturdy plants, and a timeless presence in the garden. Plant them once and they may bloom for generations. 3. Black-eyed Susan. Black-eyed Susan is one of those perennials that instantly brings life and warmth into the garden. With its golden yellow petals and dark central cone, it creates a cheerful, sun-lit presence that lasts for months. And December planting gives this plant a powerful advantage from the very beginning. Rudbeckia is exceptionally resilient and naturally adapted to cold cycles. When planted in December, the plant enters the soil during dormancy, allowing its roots to settle deeply and securely before spring arrives. This early root anchoring is especially important for Black-eyed Susan, as it prevents plants from toppling over once strong winds and heavy summer growth begin. These perennials prefer full sun and average, well-draining soil, but they are not demanding. In fact, Rudbeckia thrives where many other plants struggle. Winter planting allows the roots to spread slowly through cool, moisture-retentive soil, resulting in stronger stems and more balanced growth above ground. One of the biggest advantages of December planting is drought resistance. By spring, Black-eyed Susan already has an established root network, making it far more tolerant of heat and dry conditions. This leads to thicker foliage, sturdier flower stalks, and a noticeably higher number of blooms during summer. Black-eyed Susan is also a magnet for pollinators. Bees, butterflies, and beneficial insects rely on its long-lasting flowers for nectar and pollen. Planting it early ensures earlier and longer flowering, which directly supports local ecosystems. Once established, Rudbeckia requires very little care. It doesn't need rich soil or frequent watering, and it handles neglect with ease. Winter planting gives it a natural, stress-free start that results in healthier, longer-lived plants. 4. Echinacea, coneflower. Echinacea, commonly known as coneflower, is a powerhouse perennial, both in beauty and resilience. It thrives when planted during dormancy, making December one of the most effective times to get it into the ground. In nature, Echinacea seeds fall to the soil in autumn and winter, resting in cold conditions until spring warmth triggers growth. December planting recreates this natural process, allowing roots to settle in cold soil and gradually establish without pressure from top growth. Coneflowers love sunny locations and well-draining soil. They are exceptionally hardy and respond positively to cold exposure, which strengthens root systems and prepares the plant for long-term survival. Winter-planted Echinacea often develops thicker stems, stronger upright growth, and improved flowering performance. Another key benefit of planting Echinacea in December is disease resistance. Cold-established roots produce healthier plants that are less prone to fungal issues and stress-related problems. By the time summer heat arrives, these plants are already well anchored and resilient. Echinacea is also highly drought-tolerant once established. Deep roots allow it to access moisture far below the soil surface, reducing the need for frequent watering. This makes it ideal for low-maintenance gardens and climates with hot, dry summers. Beyond its ornamental value, Echinacea is famous for its medicinal properties and immune-supporting benefits. Its presence in the garden adds both beauty and purpose. Planting it in December gives it the calm, natural start it prefers, resulting in sturdier plants, longer bloom times, and a stronger overall display. 5. Ornamental grasses. Ornamental grasses bring movement, texture, and natural rhythm to the garden, and many of them establish best when planted during winter. December is especially effective for cool season varieties, as it allows the plant to focus entirely on root development without the stress of producing top growth. When planted in winter, ornamental grasses quietly extend their root systems through cool, stable soil. This slow, uninterrupted establishment creates a strong foundation that supports healthier, more upright growth in spring. Instead of struggling to anchor themselves during rapid seasonal growth, winter-planted grasses wake up already secure in the ground. Proper placement is essential. Ornamental grasses generally prefer locations with good drainage, as standing water during winter can damage roots. They also need space. Many varieties expand significantly over time, forming wide clumps or spreading gently through the landscape. December planting gives you time to position them correctly without competing growth from neighboring plants. One of the biggest benefits of winter planting is structure. By spring, ornamental grasses already have strong root systems capable of supporting taller growth and fuller form. This results in better shape, stronger stems, and earlier visual impact in the garden. Many grasses also provide winter interest, with dried seed heads and graceful movement that adds beauty even in dormant months. Planting them in December ensures they are well established and ready to contribute year-round texture to the landscape. Once established, ornamental grasses are low maintenance, drought tolerant, and long-lived. Winter planting gives them the calm, natural start they need to become strong focal points in the garden. 6. Ferns. Ferns may appear delicate and soft, but many hardy varieties are surprisingly tough, and December is an excellent time to plant them. Cool soil encourages steady root development without placing any demand on leaf growth, which is exactly how ferns prefer to establish. When planted in winter, ferns settle quietly into the soil while remaining dormant above ground. This allows roots to spread naturally and deeply before spring arrives. By the time fronds begin to unfurl, the plant is already anchored and prepared to support healthy, lush growth. Ferns thrive in shaded environments, making them ideal for woodland gardens, shaded borders, and areas under trees. They prefer moist, well-draining soil and benefit from organic matter that helps retain consistent moisture. Winter planting allows the soil to stay cool and evenly moist, creating ideal conditions for root establishment. Protection is another advantage of December planting. With no active foliage exposed to harsh conditions, the plant experiences minimal stress. A light layer of mulch helps insulate roots and protect them from temperature fluctuations, ensuring steady development throughout winter. By the time warmer weather arrives, winter-planted ferns are noticeably stronger and more resilient. They unfurl more evenly, grow fuller, and adapt better to environmental changes. This early establishment also improves long-term health, allowing ferns to thrive for many years with minimal intervention. Ferns bring softness, depth, and timeless beauty to the garden. Planting them in December gives them the quiet, undisturbed beginning they need to flourish, resulting in graceful, dependable plants that return stronger each spring. 7. Hostas. When winter arrives, hostas seem to vanish completely, leaving bare soil where lush leaves once stood. But beneath the surface, hostas are very much alive, and December is a surprisingly powerful time to plant them. During winter, hostas enter full dormancy above ground, which means they experience almost no transplant stress when planted now. With no leaves to support, the plant directs all of its energy into root establishment. This extended underground growth period gives hostas a major advantage by the time spring arrives. December planting allows hosta roots to settle deeply and securely over several months, instead of rushing to establish during the chaos of spring growth. As a result, hostas planted in winter often emerge earlier, grow faster, and develop larger, thicker leaves than those planted later. Hostas thrive in rich, moisture-retentive soil with plenty of organic matter. They prefer partial to full shade, making them perfect for areas under trees, along north-facing walls, or in shaded garden beds. While they love consistent moisture, good drainage is still important to prevent root rot during winter. Planting depth matters. Set the crown just below the soil surface, then cover lightly with soil and mulch. A layer of mulch helps regulate soil temperature, prevent frost heaving, and retain moisture without smothering the plant. One of the biggest benefits of winter planting is reduced transplant shock. In spring, hostas planted in December wake up already settled, producing fuller clumps with broader leaves and stronger stems. This is one of the most effective ways to achieve those massive, show-stopping hostas gardeners admire. Once established, hostas are long-lived and low maintenance. With proper placement, they can thrive for decades, growing larger and more impressive each year. Winter planting gives them the quiet, uninterrupted start they need to reach their full potential. 8. Daylilies. Daylilies are legendary for their toughness, adaptability, and reliability, and planting them in December only enhances these qualities. These perennials are extremely cold tolerant and handle winter soil conditions with ease. When planted in December, daylilies focus on one thing: building strong, extensive root systems. With no pressure to produce leaves or flowers, all energy is directed underground, This early investment in root growth pays off with healthier plants, stronger stems, and more abundant blooms in the following season. Daylilies grow well in full sun, where they flower most heavily, but they also tolerate light shade. They prefer soil that drains reasonably well, though they are adaptable to many conditions once established. Winter planting allows roots to spread naturally through cool, moist soil without stress. Spacing is important as daylilies expand over time. Plant them with enough room to form full clumps and water them in well after planting. Adding mulch helps protect newly planted roots from temperature swings and conserves moisture. One major advantage of December planting is timing. Daylilies planted in winter often bloom earlier than those planted in spring. Their deep root systems also improve drought resistance during hot summer months, allowing the plants to thrive with less frequent watering. Daylilies truly reward patience. While they may seem quiet during winter, they are preparing for vigorous growth. By choosing to plant them now, you're giving them a head start that results in stronger plants, better flowering, and a more resilient garden overall.